One of my favorite things about coasters are their names. I know this sounds kind of stupid, but it's actually kind of important to me. Like, I actually get turned off when there's a coaster with a fire layout that's just called friggin' Goliath or something. A good coaster name just gets me excited to get on it. It can really pull you into that world of the coaster just by hearing it. Some of my highest bucket list coasters are really only on there because of the name. I mean, they're good rides, but if their names are just like Mind Eraser or something, they definitely would not be as high. Like Twisted Timbers, god damn it. That name just makes me want to go friggin' intergalactic apple picking. I mean, it also makes me want to ride the coaster, but you know, apple picking. But there are so many examples of great coaster names that if I were to go through an entire list of them, we would be here all day. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Number 1, no, I'm not that desperate for content. There are actually a lot of types of things that go into a good coaster name. One of the most overlooked parts is actually the font. Look at this font for El Toro. The flames, the pointed art style, the colors are just on point. That's another thing, color. Font and color. The orange flames with the black font and that black trim around it. This is a perfect logo. Lightning rod, Jesus, look at the font on that. Look at the colors. It's also vintage and fits so well with the plaza and the ride with that hot rod red, the flames from behind it and the car exhaust. This logo might be a masterpiece. One thing that's always pissed me off is Skyrush. I mean, I get it's kind of like this futury theme they're going on here, but the washed out colors, the weird stringy coaster track, and the boring blocky font just all makes it very lackluster. I mean, this is in the same park with Storm Runner. Come on, this logo's a classic right here. Everything is right with it. The logo of a ride can elevate it, especially if it has a big grand entrance sign. I think it's really cool when parks go out of their way to make these flashy, bold entrance signs, and sometimes they even go above and beyond with these massive plazas. They can really build hype around a ride before you get on it, and it builds a great park atmosphere in front of their signature attraction. I think Candemonium's is really well done. You got the Kisses fountain, the massive logo, the colorful building with all the candy, then of course you have the big, beautiful B&M Hyper in its signature brown all right at the front of the park. When I get into the park, I just want to run right on, and when I get to that entrance sign in the building, it just makes me want to get on it even more. A good coaster sign is almost cinematic. One of my favorite things is when a park incorporates practical effects with it. Banshee sign with the mist effects. First of all, this is an incredible logo. That's just first of all. But the effects just add on to that level of mystery and darkness that the ride seems to have. Speaking of Kings Island, Mystic Timbers. Mystic Timbers entrance is a personal favorite of mine. The broken wooden sign for a wooden coaster with the faded colors, the vines growing all over it, and the 3 different fonts. It's truly a masterpiece. One that I've always liked, and I know I'm gonna sound crazy, but Nitro's entrance. The name kind of sucks, but the entrance is actually insane. I love how you can just see the massive 230-foot lift hill towering right in front of you. The big bold letters with that faint blue outline with that iconic text. The archway that you walk under, making it feel like you're walking into a friggin' palace, and how it's all lit up at night, and then you get on the ride that takes you into pitch darkness. Come on guys, deep down you know this is cool. It's not the best at great entrance, like Toro's entrance is still better, but it doesn't get the credit it deserves. I mean, this entire ride doesn't, so why would the ride entrance? Alright, one more. Steel Vengeance. Look at this thing. This is actually a great ride sign. You got these big bold letters stacked on top of each other, the metallic colors that fit so well with the ride theme, all surrounded by a metal trim that's been bolted on. There are these chains that are attached to the rocks that the entire thing is sitting on. If this doesn't make you want to get on the ride, I really don't know what will. But fonts, colors, and logos aside, what about the actual name? The name of the coaster is important too, obviously. That's the whole point of the video. I got sidetracked a little, sorry. Coaster names are actually something that kind of fall under the radar. People love to say, I don't care about coaster names because it doesn't affect the ride experience. But then those same people turn around and complain about Six Flags naming another ride after a DC hero. Here's my thing. For me, a coaster name will never make me not want to ride something. It can dampen my excitement, but it will never fully take away from it. But a good coaster name can do the opposite. A good name can hype me up for a coaster so much that I just gotta get out and ride it. The name should fit with the coaster and give us a taste of what it's all about. El Toro, that name is incredible. I love how it's in Spanish. Like, how often are coaster names in a language other than English if it's in America? It translates exactly to the bull, but it sounds cool because it's in Spanish. And then you get on the ride and it's exactly like you're riding a bull. It's just trying to toss you out. Prowler. Damn, this is one I've always loved. The logo is really cool, but the way it fits with the ride so well is what makes the name. You feel like an animal hunting down its prey with these low-to-the-ground twists and turns in the woods. I really like it when the names are making the coasters into a living thing, like Prowler or Toro. Some of the good ones that do that are Thunderbird, Nighthawk, and probably my personal favorite out of all of them, Leviathan. I mean, this thing looks like a beast. It looks like a dragon. The color scheme, the design of the trains, and just the sheer size of it. It's like the name makes the ride better, but the ride is what makes the name work. Another type of name are locations. location names. Now, these are a bit rarer, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how much I like them. Like Jersey Devil, okay, that one makes sense, because in folklore, there was like a Jersey Devil in New Jersey or something. But rides like Texas Stingray, Carolina Gold Rusher, and Georgia Scorcher, those are just lazy. Like if you take out the state, the names would just be pretty pathetic. Introducing the brand new GCI, the tallest, the fastest, the longest, and the only wooden coaster at SeaWorld San Antonio, Stingray. I don't know, these types of location-based names have always rubbed me the wrong way. I think there's a way to do these state pride coasters without just putting the state right in there. Like Patriot. Patriot's a good example. There's clear American pride there without just writing America in the name. Another one is Wicked Cyclone, Wicked being a word that's frequently used in Massachusetts. These clever location tie-ins are much better than the Texas Stingray variant, although I have to say, besides Texas Stingray, GCI has some pretty good names. Prowler, Mystic Timbers, Gold Striker, Lightning Racer, Wood Coaster. I mean, come on, you gotta love Wood Coaster. If there's one manufacturer that has always had annoying names to me, it's RMC. And you know, there are some good ones. There are some good names like Lightning Rod, Outlaw Run, Steel Vengeance, and Twisted Timbers, but I feel like the rest are either corny or overused. So you got Wicked Cyclone, which is like a pretty cool location name, but then there's Twisted Cyclone. Okay. A little confusing, but I can still manage. It's okay. That in itself is okay. But then there's Twisted Timbers, which opened the same year as Twisted Cyclone. And then to make things even worse, you have Twisted Colossus, which sounds like Twisted Timbers and Twisted Cyclone, but opened the same year as Wicked Cyclone. Then you throw in rides by other manufacturers like Wicked Twister or the Coney Island Cyclone, and it's just like, what the f, man? And yes, I know the manufacturers don't control the names, that's on the park sides, but it's still fun to look at the names across all of their coasters and compare. One manufacturer that I think is pretty hit or miss is B&M. Like, you got some great ones, like Mako, Leviathan, and Baron 1898. But then there are just some god-awful ones, like Dive Coaster. Actually, wait, one that's always been annoying to me is Fury. I know this might be a hot take, but I think Fury 325 is such a stupid name. I also just find it annoying when coasters put their stats in their names. Like, imagine if Millennium Force was like Millennium Force 310 or Iron Gwazi 206. But beyond just the numbers, Fury is not a good name for a coaster. I mean, I get it's about bees and stuff, and while that alone is a stupid theme for a Giga Coaster, I don't even think of the bees. When I hear Fury, the first thing I think of is anger. Like, when you first heard Fury 325, did you really think there was a bee theme attached to it, or did you think it was just some corny, like, this ride is furious or something? I don't know, I just never really liked it. Alright, to end off the video, I'm just gonna hit you with a bunch of coaster names that I really like. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Skyrush. I like this name solely for the purpose that it rhymes with Thigh Crush. Expedition G-Force. This name just sounds grand, like you're going on a journey. I mean, it's a friggin' expedition. What can I say? It sounds cool. Outlaw Run. You're basically like an outlaw, running from the cavalry in the woods. It's not so much the name itself, but it's what my imagination does with it. Ride of Steel. This is the only superhero ride you'll see here. I like how subtly it references Superman, but also the fact that it's made of steel. Wildfire. This name is just savage. Like, it's a wooden coaster in the woods themed to forest fires. Come on, you know that's cool. Colossus. I think out of all the names that mean big, this is the most intimidating. Velocicoaster. It just sounds cool. The Beast. This thing is a monster. It takes you hunting in the woods, and the ride gets progressively more ferocious, just like an animal hunting its dinner. Oblivion. It's simple, it's classy, it describes the ride plunging into nothing. I just like it a lot. And finally, Maverick. Intamin has a lot of really good names, but this one might be one of my favorites. It fits the Western theme. It describes the wild coaster experience, and it just makes you feel like a badass saying it. Anyways, that's gonna wrap up this video. Those are my thoughts on coaster names. What do you think about them? Do you care? Do you like them? Are there any great ones I didn't mention? And if there are, tell me why they're great. As always, if you liked the video, then give it a like, and if you loved it, consider subscribing. I've been Coastoons, it's been fun, and I will see you all next time.